In this video, I'll show you how to build this full stack Instagram clone, and at the end we'll publish it on the internet so you can share it with your friends. You'll be able to log in with your Google account and your information will be displayed in the header, so right here, in the stories and in the mini profile as well. You can like, you can comment, and we have the updated number of the likes and of the comments as well, and a timestamp of the post when it was posted. So let's try to add a post. I'll click on upload, I'll choose a file from my computer, I'll add a caption, so I'll say my French bulldog and upload. Now it's loading to Firebase and we have a new post. We can like, comment. This is mobile responsive as well, so let's check it out on mobile. I'll click inspect, I'll try it on S20. As you can see, we have this story feature. Everything looks great on mobile as well. Let's try to sign in and sign out now. I'll click on login. We have this nice sign in page. I'll click on another Google account. And now, as you can see, we have a different profile on the app with a different Google image and a different name. We can like and comment as well. So for the front end of this project, we'll use React and Next.js, as well as Tailwind CSS for the styling of the page. If you've never used Tailwind CSS, this is very easy, so don't worry about it. And for the backend, we'll use Firebase to store the users and the pictures. Okay, so let's open VS Code. So we have VS Code opened. Now let's try to install Tailwind CSS and Next.js. So I'll go to Tailwind CSS. You'll just type on Google install Tailwind CSS with Next.js and click on the first link. Now we'll copy this first line of code. We'll go in VS Code. I only have an empty folder opened in VS Code, so just create a folder on the desktop and open it in VS Code. I'll paste it here, and instead of my project, I'll say Insta. Enter, and let's wait. Now that this is installed, let's say cd insta, so I'll say cd insta, and now let's install the next line of code for the Tailwind. So I'll press enter, I'll make this smaller, and let's wait. I'll copy the next line of code, so I'll paste it here, and now let's copy the next thing. So inside Tailwind config, we have now just installed Next.js, so we have the folder of Next.js. This is the basic boilerplate. So we'll go to Tailwind config, we'll delete everything and we'll paste what we copied. Save. And now let's go to global.css. Let's copy this. We'll go to styles, global CSS, and at the top we'll paste this. Save. And now we have to start the server. I'll say npm run dev. Let's see. Let's close this app so we can run it on port 3000. Now let's open the new app. So I'll click on HTTP localhost 3001. Let's hit refresh. And now let's start and restart our server because started on 3001. Because I already had it running the full version. Okay, so I stopped it. Let's say Control C to stop the server. And now I'll say again npm run dev, and now it started on localhost 3000. Okay, so we have this basic page from Next.js. I'll just go to pages, index, and this is where we'll code the layout of our site. of our Instagram app. So I'll copy everything until the footer here, and I'll delete everything. I'll save this, and now we have a blank page. To start, I'll check if Tailwind CSS is installed. So as you can see, we have the styling of Tailwind CSS. I'll add a new div, and I'll say bg red 300. This means if you hover over this, you'll see the styling of the Tailwind. So as you can see, it's background color RGB, and this is basically red. Let's save, and let's add a comment as well. So I'll say hi, save, and as you can see, we have this red background of coming from Tailwind. So I'll delete this styling and the div as well, because we don't need it. And at the top here, you can see we have some styling. We can delete this as well. I'll save, and now we have a blank page. In this blank page, we'll set the layout of the app. So we'll basically have three parts. We'll have, okay, so this I'll have to start the app again, so we can have a model after we can build this newly created app. I'll open it on 3001. You should only have this localhost 3000, that's enough. On this one, the full app is running for me. So the three components will basically be, first one, it will be the header. So let me see if I have this. Okay, so the first component will be the header. Now the second component will be this feed part, so the posts, the stories, and the mini profile. This will be the mini profile, stories, and the post. And the third one will be when we click, let's refresh the page. When we click on this upload post, we'll have this modal, so this will be the third component. So that's it, three components, it's all we need. So I'll go to VS Code, and we'll open here. I'll say header, then we'll have the feed, and then we'll have the modal. And the modal won't show up every time, so sometimes unless we click on it, it won't show up. Let's save. And the first thing we're gonna do, we're gonna create this folder called components, and inside we'll create this header.js. Now we'll say rfc and click enter, and we'll have this boilerplate of the page. If you want this extension, you can just install this ES7 React Redux React Native snippets, and when you type rfc, you'll get this boilerplate as well. Okay, so let's save, and let's go into index and import this header. So we'll say header, close the component, and make sure you import on header. If you want to get these suggestions, you'll just say Control and enter, and you'll get these suggestions. You can just click on them, or you can import manually by typing import header from components. Let's save, and we have this header now. I'll make this smaller so you can fit it on the screen. Let's go to header, and let's build the header. We'll have a left side, then the middle side, the middle part, middle, and then the right side. Right. The left side will be this Instagram, so I'll make this full. The left side is this Instagram, then the middle it's this input, and the right part will be the buttons and the profile and the sign out button. Okay, so let's create the left part first. I'll make a div, and inside this div we'll have two images, the Instagram image and the arrow down image. So I'll say image This image is a Next.js component, so we'll have to import it as well. Make sure you say import image from next image, and the source will be called Instagram. Save. And we'll need some photos for this project. You'll have the photos in the description on my GitHub. And let's create a folder for the pictures. I'll say assets, and inside I'll paste the pictures. Now this one, it's called Instagram. Let me find it. Instagram.png. So let's import it here. Import Instagram from assets / Instagram.png. Now let's save, and we have this Instagram image. We need another one with the arrow down, so instead of Instagram we'll say arrow down. I'll import the image as well, so I'll say arrow down. I'll paste it here, and we have these two images. They're obviously a little bit they're very big, so we'll have to give them a width and a height as well. So I'll go to the Instagram, I'll say width 28, and then to this one I'll say height of 3 and width of 3 as well. We can say flex, save, and now we have basic left side. Now let's go and create the middle part. For the middle part we'll need an image with a search, and then we'll need an input as well. So let's import the image first. I'll create a div, and inside we'll have this image component. Again, this is a next component, so you have to import it. I'll say source equals, and this is called search image. I'll import the image search from search.png and save. Now we have this image, and I'll add the input as well. I'll say input and type text, it's okay, and I'll say placeholder equals with search. Let's save. We can give a style of flex, so we have them side to side, and then we can give to the whole div of flex. So I'll create another div, and I'll put the left end to the end of the header. I'll put it inside this div. Now I'll delete this one, save, and I'll say flex to this container, so we have everything in line. Delete this. Okay, so now we have to give some styling to the image and the input. So for the image with the search, we'll say first we need the image inside this div, so we'll say absolute, so I'll say absolute and save. Now have the image inside this div, but it's too big, so to solve this we'll say we want a width of we'll say 3, and then a height of full. Let's save. Now to center this we'll say flex. I'll say flex. I'll say items center, save, and I'll give this div a relative, so it's relative to this div and not in the middle of the page. Now I'll give some styling to this whole header, so it's not close to one of each other. So I'll say flex, say justify between. Let's save, and voila, we have the header, the input right here. Let's give some styling to this middle. So I'll say when the screen it's very small, we don't want it at all, so we'll say hidden. In the middle part at the top we'll say hidden. So if you hover over this, again, if you want this extension, it's called Tailwind CSS IntelliSense. Just download it, and when you hover over the styling of Tailwind, you'll have it as well. So let's go to the header, and this basically says display none. That's what hidden means. So we have display none when it's small, and when the size it's small, so it's hidden on the phone. And when the size is small, we'll say flex. Let's save, and as you can see, we don't have this input. Now when the screen is getting bigger, it's breaking that breakpoint, the screen breakpoint, we have the search. Okay, so now that it works, let's style a little bit this. So we'll say we want for the middle part we want width of 72, so we'll say width of 72, save. And for the image we have absolute, flex, item center, width 3, height full. I'll just give it a margin left of 2, save, and I'll give this some padding as well for the input. Create a class name, and for this input I'll say height 9. I'll say width full, rounded. So rounded, it's the margin of the div. Let's say rounded MD, so medium. It's border radius 0.35 rem. So to see this, we'll have to add some background. So I'll say BG. That's the background. So the color it's EF. Let's save, and we have this background color. Now we'll want some padding left as well, so padding left of 8. Now we can actually see this, and we'll say when you click this, we have this ugly outline, so we don't want this. I'll say outline 0. Let's save, and to center everything, let's add some height to the whole header. So I'll go to the header right here, and we have to say flex, justify between, and we need item center as well. Item center, save. Now let's give it a height as well, so I'll say height of 16. I'll give some padding of the x axis, so I'll say padding x of 2. As you can see, we have this padding now, and I'll give some styling to this. I'll give some class name, and I'll say we want some border, so I'll say border bottom. Let's save, and we have this 1 pixel border. If you hover over it, you have border bottom width of 1 pixel. I'll give it some shadow as well, so I'll say shadow small, save, and we have this small shadow. I'll say background of white as well, save. Okay, so now that we've built this middle part, let's go to the right side. So in the right side, I'll create a div, and inside this div we'll have some buttons. We'll have 2, 4, 5 buttons, the profile and the sign out button as well. So let's start. I'll make a div for each image, so I'll say image, let's add it as source, and we'll need 1, 2, 4, 5 buttons. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This will be the home. This will be the, I'll call this message. this is upload, this is explore, and this one it's heart, so I'll say heart. Now let's import these images. So instead of search, I'll say home, from home. Save. Then we have the message. Then we'll have the upload. Then we have the explore. Then the heart. Let's save and check out what's happening. Okay, so it says can resolve explore.png. So the assets slash explore.png, where is it? Explore.png. Let's click on it, and we don't have it because it's not called explore, it's called discover. Okay, so let's say discover, and save. Now let's add discover here, so discover, save, and we have all 5 images, but they are centered, so 2 of them are outside of the screen. Let's say flex, so we can see them all. Flex, and they're obviously too big. Now we could say height of let's say 6 and width of 6 for each button, but there is another way to do this way easier, and we can create a custom class name for all the buttons, and we'll use it in the future as well. So we'll go to styles, we'll go to global.css, and here we'll create a class name. For this class name we'll say layer, and then components, and then inside this we'll actually create our btn class name. So to write Tailwind, here we'll say apply, and for each button we'll want a width of 6, a height of 6. We want shrink 0, so the image doesn't shrink. Flex shrink 0, that's what it means. Then we want cursor pointer, and that's it. Cursor pointer means cursor pointer. Save. And now let's add the class name to each button. So we'll say, instead of adding like 1, 2, 3, 4 classes to each button, we'll only say in the header, we'll say btn to each button. Let's save, and now we have all these icons. We have to add the profile as well and the sign out button, so let's do this. I'll say profile, it's called profile, this one. Let's import the profile and copy, save. Profile.png, oh, it's JPEG, so JPEG. Save, and we have this user profile. Now it's very small, but we'll fix this. So here we'll say we want some spacing between them, so let's say space on the x-axis of 5, and this gives a margin to each button. If you hover over it, you can see you have this styling for the space x5. Now let's add the button as well. So I'll create another div, and inside this div we'll have the profile and the button. So I'll create a button, and here I'll say sign out. Save. We can give this a flex, so you have them in line. I'll give this image, say margin left of 5, margin right of 5. Okay, so it looks good now. Now we can give some styling to this sign out and the picture. So I'll say to this picture, I'll say rounded full. Let's save. Okay, so we actually have to give this border radius to the actual picture. So I'll say class name equals, and here rounded full. Save, and we have this circle. Now for the button, for the sign out button, we'll have some custom styling. Okay, so I'll say cursor pointer. Save. So now when we hover over it, we have this cursor. Now I'll say text. I'll give it a color, so the color of the blue, that blue color, and it's 0095F6. Let's save it, and we have this nice color. Now I'll say font semi-bold. Save. I'll add some margin left, but actually we added already on the picture, and I'll say, for example, when this is getting smaller, you can see it wraps, so we don't want this. So I'll say white space, no wrap, and save. And as you can see, we don't have this white space anymore. Now we want some border as well, so some margin between on this input. So let's go here, and we'll say a margin on the x-axis of let's say 2. Okay, looks better. Let's make it bigger and smaller, and everything looks smooth. Now this arrow, I don't like how it looks, so let's go to the left side, and I'll add some margin top. So I'll say margin top of 1, and now it looks good. Let's check it out on the mobile as well. So I'll say inspect, and as you can see, there is too much content. Now on the mobile version of our app, we only have the Instagram logo, we have the upload, the picture, and the sign out. So we'll do the same thing on here as well. To do this, to hide the buttons when it's mobile, we have we'll have to say hidden on the mobile, and then when it gets to the small page, so let me get, when it gets to the small, so at 600 and something pixels, we'll have them show up again. So I'll go to S20, and here we'll say hidden, and then on the small we'll have them flex. I'll copy this and I'll paste it on the buttons that we don't need. So on the message as well, we need the upload, then I'll do the same on the discover and on the heart as well. Now there is this profile, we want the profile, let's save, and we have a nice header. Let's go to responsive, and we have this responsive navbar that looks almost exactly as the Instagram header as well. The difference, we have this sign out button that I've added just for basic, it's like important to have, you know. Okay, now the difference between our app, if we go on the web version, as you can see, we don't want the app to have the full width of the page. We only want a certain width of the header. So to modify this, I'll go to, let me close this, I'll go to the header, to this one, and we'll give it a set width. So I'll say max width of 5XL, and if we hover over this, we can see max width of 64 rems. Now when I click save, make this full, as you can see we have the header, it's only this large. The one behind it, it's the bigger one. Let me add this one. So the white one behind it, it's actually this div with the background of white. So to fix this, we'll say we want the margin of the x-axis to be auto. Let's save. As you can see, we have always it's in the middle, so on the left and on the right we'll have the same margin. If we hover over this, say margin left auto, margin right auto. Save. Now what we have is different. We have this notification, this red notification that we can create easily in the our app as well. So let's do it. I'll go to our app, I'll go to the message button, let's make this smaller, and let's find it, discover heart message. Here we'll have to create another div, and this one will be the number of the messages, and we'll have to give it some styling. Let's save, and the one just appeared. I'll say position absolute. Let's save. Now I'll say flex. I'll say at the top we want -1, so minus top 1. This means if we save, this means top minus 0.25 RAM. I'll give this div relative, so it's relative of this message. Now we'll have to say left, the position on the left will be 3.5. We'll have items center, save. We'll have justify center. We'll have let's save obj red 500. Oops, obj red 500. We'll have the text will be white. Save. We'll have rounded full, so it's a circle. We'll have a width of 4 and a height of 4 as well, and the text will be XS, so it will be very small, what is called font size, and the line height as well. So we have some styling to add before we are done with the header. We'll only say to this div, we'll want to be sticky, so when we scroll down we'll have this header always showing at the top and the feed just going behind it. So to do this we'll have to give it a property of sticky, so I'll say sticky. Tailwind is just this easy, we'll say position sticky. So sticky will have a top of 0, so top 0, and we'll say z index of 10, so it will show up over the posts and everything. Save. When you hover over it, z index of 10. We'll have to give some styling to this Instagram image as well, so we'll say we'll say height full. Oops, not here. So we'll say width 28, we'll give it a height of full, and we'll say flex as well. So let's save it so it's in the center, and we have some styling for this one as well. So let's make it a little bit bigger, the margin on the right. So we'll say a margin X of 4, and the last thing to do, we just said hidden width. We have the margin, the relative. Actually I think this middle it just looks alright, so we won't add any styling to it. Well, this is the header of the Instagram app. So as you can see, it's fully responsive. We can try to resize it. Everything looks good on mobile as well. I'll go to the iPhone 5. iPhone 5 it's like the smallest, I think the smallest device in terms of width, so if it's working on iPhone 5 it will work on any device, you know. So if you want to add the iPhone 5 as well, you'll just go to I think it's show device frame. Let me find, no, not here, hide device frame. I think it's in settings. Yeah, it's in settings. You go to devices and you just add iPhone 5 if you want to try it with me as well. Okay, so this is the first episode. If you like it, subscribe, like, and I'll post the next videos when we build the stories, the post, the mini profile, and after that we'll connect it to NextAuth, so to the NextAuth, to the Firebase, and we'll have all the functionality of this app. If you like this video, like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.